Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Update on being cheated on. So I'm a femme with a femme wife with the douche neighbor across. He was initially kind but already rubbed me the wrong way when he offered my wife a threesome. My wife never done anything like that, so I told her that she can ask me questions about this. In the end, we agreed that we were not interested in having him as our third. He's not my type TBH and he's going through a divorce, so I'm sure he's sleeping around and I don't wanna catch anything. My wife told him no and that we weren't interested. At our party yesterday, things were hectic and we were drunk. He was there. So long story short, my wife ended up flirting with him and then they kissed. This was all caught on camera. I confronted my wife and we are now discussing a divorce. She wants me to give her another chance since she's never crossed such boundaries. She's offered therapy and that she will leave her gymnastics sideline so that she could focus on us and our future baby, which we have discussed about 2 months ago. She admits to going through rough times right now with her shitty job, missing her family in the Philippines, and just feeling a little lost that she cannot have a baby soon enough. She admitted to it being a mistake and that she should have not flirted with him in the first place and that she was truly wasted. TBH, I was extremely wasted too and I'm heavyweight in comparison to my wife. I didn't even remember getting on my scooter or taking to other people at the party. I only know of these because I was binging on watching R-ing videos. But, I cannot get over the fact that they still flirted and kissed. I eventually texted this douche and kept my calm and told him that he has children and that I don't think he'd want some neighbor trying to break their future marriages as well. He was quick to apologize and that this is not who he is, a home wrecker, and said that he thought that we were all flirting. That I was flirting with him and then I disappeared. CZ I crashed upstairs, but that they just continued the fun since my wife was also flirting with him. He admitted that it's always been a fantasy of his and that as a single man, his friends also made him think that it might be a possibility one day. And he thought that yesterday was the day. So now, my wife and I are in the middle of this dilemma. CZ I don't know if I can let go. PS I was not flirting with a homeboy at all. And if he thought that me offering him drinks while we all took shots was me flirting just because I may have put my hand on his shoulder, then I'm not shocked that my wife's actions were a huge invitation to him. This guy must be really feeling himself and thinking that he's God's gift to women, especially to the lesbian neighbors across the street. Filing for a divorce after wife kissed the neighbor. Advice. So we're both femmes and my wife and I have been struggling the last 2 months. 4 years ago, when we married, I asked her to work on being a partner to me. Not with finances or anything but to simply split the chores at home. I always did mine, did the ones we shared, even paid for the hard chores like scrubbing the bathroom and the kitchen, wiping the shutters, and cleaning the fans, but she just couldn't do hers. In the beginning, we'd fight about it and then we just make up and she just gets away with it. We even went to therapy for it since we're opposites in a way that I'm probably OCD and she's probably at the other end of the spectrum. This was mostly our only fight, her not wanting to do her chores. CZ she says she cannot. First she said it was time management, but she then has time to party with friends, start her garage gymnastics, eat out with co-workers, and even visit her friend's horse once a week for about 1.5 hours. It made me upset regularly how something simple that will take maybe an hour is something that she just won't commit to. I literally took care of everything but her portion of the chores. Our mortgage is split but I paid for the down payment. I pay for groceries and some of our eat-outs. During trips, I cover either the hotel or the flight and she covers the other. Eventually, the last 2 months, I started being distant. I could no longer be intimate. CZ I was always irritated with the mess. Here comes a party for Memorial Weekend that we threw at our house. She ended up flirting with the neighbor and then they kissed for about 2 minutes. I saw them all on the video. I cannot tolerate cheating, so I'm filing for a divorce next week. She's been apologetic, emotional, and made efforts to win me back. She's finally cleaning up and even would get me food regularly. She stopped talking to the guy. The guy apologized to me, thinking we were all flirting and maybe headed for a threesome. My wife admits that she got lost in the moment of craziness, of someone paying attention to her, of the alcohol, and thought that maybe we could go for a threesome. I like the number 3 for a reason. Everyone would be in the know and not just two people flirting on the side. She said it was a mistake and it won't happen again. I told her it's a little too late now because I don't believe in marriage anymore and want a divorce regardless. My thinking is I didn't want to be married before, even with my ex-BFS and ex-GFS, but considered the idea after we met. She made me believe that marriage was great and sacred. After that kiss, I don't think like that anymore. She offered for us to go back to therapy. I told her I'm going for myself but can join her as well, but it doesn't mean we are back together. I said that I need to answer 3 questions first and see if I can consider seeing her, not remarrying her ever again. Can I totally forgive? Can I trust her again? Do I still see her as someone I want to be with despite making me wait for 4 years of not being a good partner to me? I told her I don't have the answer to those right now, and all I know is I am done with the marriage. I still love her, of course, but I feel like those 3 questions are essential for me to consider anything with her. Marriage is done. The rest is up in the air. Do I make sense to you? You're making the right decision. If the marriage is strong in every other way, the cleaning thing shouldn't be a constant issue. I have something similar, but it is a few small negatives in a lot of positives, so if it was an exception rather than the rule, you would want to stay. Sounds like she needed a maid, so convinced you to marry her. She gets to live her life and you can clean up after it. That isn't a partnership. Go find one. She grew up spoiled in the Philippines. She was a princess. When I'd seek advice from her cousin here who's also Americanized like me, she'd just say that it's just she always gets what she wants and she doesn't wanna clean since they've always had a maid. When she'd tell her family how hard to do her chores, instead of them saying, "Sweetie, you gotta learn to be a partner," they'd say, "Oh no, we're so worried for you. Are you okay?" Yikes. She wasn't raised well. Seems like you got a kid, not a wife. Anyo Bayan. Totally worked on leaving her. Lazy and no sense of loyalty. You deserve better. You can love her, but wow, don't settle for being treated like that. May update Echo. Few hours lang, but I don't know how to share with you, so maybe check my name and see if it shows up. Tanjina Naya. Sorry you're going through that. If you ever need to rant, or get your mind off stuff, you're welcome to message. I hope you have good friends and people around you to see you through this. Cut ties with this person who totally disrespected you and her promises to you. Take care op. I do na man. As in, I have a solid group of friends that she actually became friends with even. It's just her choices right now are grape. She thought she could be friends with the guy Dortelaga, which is why they talked, and he came over to a hotel Nyanong Friday to talk, but the guy brought a condom. Labo. And why does she wanna be friends with him after they just kissed? Sounds like you figured it out. Therapy is going to reveal that by taking up the slack for 4 years gave her a sense of entitlement. She just had to kiss and make up. Her mentioning a threesome after the fact is bullshit. And if she goes and parties without you, odds are very high that this ain't her first time. Divorce sucks. Being alone sometimes sucks. But spending your life with someone that doesn't love or respect you sucks times 100. Take care. I did wait for 4 years for something very simple to be done. No wifely duties whatsoever, or cooking for me, or doing my laundry, or anything. Just a simple please do you share? Now within this week, she was able to make me meals every night and walk it up to me while I cry, buy me flowers, walk my dog without being asked, and complete the laundry. She claims it's because she was homesick during the first year. Then second year, it's because she didn't feel like she didn't fit in my home that I bought with my BFF who also lives with us. Third year, she was trying to find her footing and make her own circle of friends. Year 4, toxic job, COVID, and missing her family in the Philippines. There was always a reason. Not reasons, excuses. Best update about my wife who kissed the neighbor. So my wife is worse than all the people I've been with. If you've been following my posts, you'd know the background. If you haven't seen my post, here's the gist. We threw a party at the house and I caught my wife on the video flirting with the neighbor and then caught them on another video kissing. Since Monday, my wife has been convincing me that it was a mistake after I told her I want a divorce. She asked if we can do therapy and I said maybe so I can see if I can forgive. For 5 days, she's been telling me she loves and wants to be with me and that neighbor was a mistake. Then she said she also hates the house like me and needs some time away from it. She checked into a hotel from Thursday to Sunday. She invited me to stay at her hotel for Saturday so that I can get out of the house. I had my nephew for a sleepover and she wanted to help. I insisted that we just stay at the house but she really wanted to spend time. So we ended up going. She knocked out anyway so I ended up feeding my nephew and putting him to bed. I was on the phone with my BFF and my sister for a long time because I couldn't sleep. I went to bed at 1 a.m. Someone knocks at the hotel door. It was the neighbor. I told him to come in and let's chat and he didn't want to come in and I said come on, you could at least man up and talk to the wife of the girl you're trying to get with. He obliged. He was shaking and he said that he's sorry and I said don't apologize. Just tell me the truth. I asked him if he realizes that my wife has been begging me to give her a chance since Monday and as it turns out, she reached out to him on Monday saying sorry that I confronted him. Then they started texting. Every day, wifey tells me she loves me and hugs me and holds me. Tries to kiss me. Yet on Thursday, she checked in at the hotel to get her peace and quiet to journal and reflect. Also on Thursday, a neighbor came to her hotel and they made out. Then on Friday, they ducked. Quick and easy. I asked my neighbor did you use protection and he said of course. I said did you really want a threesome or just my wife? He said a threesome. I said you're not my type. I said are you serious about my wife and he said no just for fun. I turned to my wife who was frozen next to us, I said I hope it was worth it. Wifey and I talked after. I wasn't well composed but I was disgusted because she isn't the woman that I thought she was. She still said she loves me and realized after the sex that she wants to be with me. Which I guess is why the neighbor kept calling and she kept ignoring today. And of course being the gentleman that he is, he simply comes over to her hotel after midnight unannounced. And that's when he saw me. And we ended up talking. I told him good luck with wifey CZ she is something else. After our talk, I called my BFF. I was shaking the entire time. Not ballistic but my body was uncontrollably shaking. During our previous therapy about 2 to 3 years ago, the therapist mentioned that she checks a lot of items for someone with borderline personality disorder. But she admitted that she doesn't have the license to diagnose. She said if it isn't that, she recommended for her to at least get therapy for abandonment issues. She got some sessions but stopped when she got better. When things weren't working out again for the last 2 years, I asked her to maybe consider therapy again and she always had excuses. I left the hotel at 1 a.m. and her first text was that she's really sorry and that she's embarrassed. Then her second text was you don't think we can move past this? I think she's on a downward spiral. Worst part is she won't tell her family at all so the people who can truly help, won't be able to. Although, they actually don't think that there's anything wrong with her. So how do you like this telenovela of mine? Ha. She checked into a hotel. When I read that, I pretty much knew the rest of the story. Me too. There was also an extra shaver in the shower when I'm truly the only one who shaves for the most part. I know. which is why I just grew more distant each day. You are right in one thing. She made choices that put her outside your sphere of responsibility. My advice now would be to exclude her in all decisions. Now you decide what is best for you only. She did this, and you know that. See a realtor, sell the house and move to a city or place where you want to live. Get onto some fitness and training to work out all the anger and frustration. Yes. I was already gonna file next week, but I was gonna do it myself. Now, I think I'm gonna call a lawyer instead just so my case has no errors. Better idea, because it just releases you from the mental gymnastics around the legalities. I think it will be worth the money for this one. I can tell you I had that uncontrollable shaking when it happened to me. When asked was I angry, I said I don't even know, tbh, I just couldn't even explain what I was feeling. I'm putting it down to the emotion of betrayal. It was a crazy shaking, like it was for a long time. Like teeth even making sounds. I admire your composure. I would not have been as kind as you were. That's what my sister said. She said she would have slapped them both. My BFF is ready to jump them. Well, I would shame them publicly around the neighbors, but that is my quarter Southern Italian background speaking lol. I would love to have the balls to do so. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.